How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Throughout the last couple months, I have transitioned my content a lot more towards crypto because I saw something I think a lot of people didn't see. And there's still a lot of people out there that don't understand the cryptocurrency markets. They think it's too volatile. They don't understand what it is. They think it's all a pump and dump game. They think that it's Fugazi. I think this is something where you can show other people this video, and I have a challenge for you. I need you to think about where you were at the beginning of the year. And maybe you didn't know that much about crypto, maybe you did, but let me ask you this. At the beginning of the year, if I told you to paint the most bullish picture that you could for the cryptocurrency markets, I'm not talking about price, but I'm talking about events. Think about this. Would you not have started and said, obviously, we need to make sure that there's no giant regulation that comes from the US government, because if crypto is going to blow up, we need to make sure that it's not being outlawed because it won't hit mainstream. Of course, you would have thought that. And what happened? Well, the SEC chief said that they won't ban cryptocurrencies in the US. Bitcoin price jumps after Powell said they have no plans on banning cryptocurrencies. We even got an ETF approved here in the US, along with a lot of other countries. You might have said too, okay, that's great, but the banks, so many people go and have their financial savings at the banks or do investing through the banks. The banks really need to get on board because they hold a lot of wealth and they hold a lot of influence. Well, look what happened. Goldman Sachs sees Ethereum rallying to 80% to 8,000 within the next 2 months if it keeps tracking inflation. JPM sees bullish outlook for Bitcoin as inflation concerns push BTC price higher. Earlier during the summer, they were talking about how it's going to continue to crash. They're talking about how it's terrible, it's worthless. Now they're saying that they're offering it to their wealthy clients, and they say that it's going to go up in value. Okay, well, that's great, but we have to get all the Bitcoin miners out of China because China can control the whole cryptocurrency market if they decide to do an attack on Bitcoin. Well, China banned Bitcoin miners. Everyone got freaked out because they were leaving China, but now they're spread out. They're spread into countries that aren't communist countries. Okay, that's all great, but how are mainstream people going to get to it? It's great the rich people are going to the banks. Well, Walmart. How about if Walmart starts offering it into some of their stores? They have Bitcoin ATMs. Great. How about countries? How about countries adopting it? El Salvador adopted cryptocurrencies, adopted Bitcoin as legal tender instead of just keeping the US dollar. And they've made millions of dollars from this. They bought the dip. They bought the dip on cryptocurrency, and they're leading the way for other countries in similar positions. And they're building schools with it. They're building 20 schools. They just announced that here over the last day. They're going to take some of their profits. Amazing. Okay, how about we also make cryptocurrency apps the top apps on the App Store? Okay, Coinbase reclaims top spot on the App Store. Crypto.com top on the Google Play Store in the US, beating out TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all these different apps. That's great. How about we also have athletes that take their salaries in it? Okay, Aaron Rodgers. Okay, all these other athletes, there are a ton of them out there. I'm not even going to go through the list. And maybe some big partnerships with some of these leagues. Coinbase inks multi-year sponsorship deal with the NBA. ICC, the International Cricket Council, huge, cricket's huge. They make a deal with the FTX exchange. Mark Cuban, Mavs offer $100 in Bitcoin to download a Voyager app to some of their fans. Huge. Also, not just athletes, but let's make sure that mainstream rappers and, celebrities get into it. Okay, Snoop Dogg, he's an NFT kingpin. Also, we want some of the biggest chains in the world, like Burger King, to partner up with cryptocurrency companies or with Robinhood to give away free cryptocurrency. And we want McDonald's to make NFTs. Okay, we can do that. Virtual Nikes. We need companies to get into the metaverse, virtual worlds, kind of like what Decentraland does. Facebook, we're just going to change one of the only $1 trillion companies' names and ticker symbols over to something that is crypto related and virtual. Okay, if you need it, we got it. Meta is where we're going to have a metaverse where people can meet and virtually interact. Also, probably the most iconic clothing company or the most iconic shoe brand in the world, Nike, is going to get into the metaverse. In addition to that, we're going to have one of the top tech companies, Microsoft, making Microsoft Mesh direct competition to Facebook's metaverse. So 2 of the top companies in the world battling it out over the metaverse. Also, we're going to have public companies like MicroStrategy that buy up Bitcoin. They have a great CEO that just says, hey, we're going to keep on buying. We're going to take loans to go buy more Bitcoin. We're going to transition the entire focus of our company to buying this great asset. Also, one of the most innovative companies in the world is going to put it on their balance sheet. Tesla bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. Yeah, they sold it. It scared some people. They also stopped accepting it as payment. But now Bitcoin mining in general is very green, and they are going to most likely restart accepting Bitcoin as payment here soon, anytime really. And all this happens at the same time that Bitcoin on exchanges is at a 1-year low. So like we learned about in school, supply versus demand. If you thought the supply shock was bad for toilet paper in 2020, imagine what the supply shock is going to look like for Bitcoin when there's less being mined, when everyone wants it, and everyone wants to see those great gains that we saw recently, where we go from maybe 60,000 up to 100 or 200 or 300,000, and everyone and their brother is talking about it. There's going to be nothing left on the shelf. It's amazing everything that's happening right now, and some people just don't get it. A lot of this is Bitcoin oriented, but this trickles down to a lot of other cryptocurrencies, and there are different use cases for all these different cryptos. If you're watching this and you understand what I'm saying, you're ahead of the curve. If you don't understand what I'm saying, start watching this channel. Hit subscribe, watch other YouTube channels too, and start learning about cryptos, because you will still be ahead of the curve if you learn today. If you learn 2 or 3 months from now, or a year from now, or 5 years from now, it might be too late. Of course, if you know people like this that don't understand crypto, send this video to them, because you don't necessarily have to understand how it works to understand everything that's happening around it. Do you know how a cell phone works? You press buttons, do you know what's happening? No, you don't. Of course, there's a lot of fear because this is where you put your money, but do you know how the stock market works? Do a lot of people that have 401ks understand how it works? No, they trust people that know better than them on what to do. So send them this video. Tell them that they have to watch this, because there's so much happening that mainstream media or just, average everyday people don't understand. Start researching this, because you can make a ton of money and really set up your family for life. If you want to start buying cryptocurrencies, you can check out the link underneath the video to BlockFi. They're a company that I put money with. They are a great company that pays you interest on your cryptocurrencies for putting it over there. You can set up automatic buys. They just raised their rates too, so they're going to pay you interest, and they're going to pay you up to 9.5% on some stablecoin, which does not fluctuate in price. They also came out with this today, and they're going to give you a slice of 5 BTC if you trade $100 in crypto. So check out the link underneath the video. Start with them if you want, and you can start buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, stablecoin if you're interested. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for hitting the like, the subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Congrats, because if you understand this stuff, you're ahead of 98% of the entire world.